One of Kendrick Lamar's greatest raps is about cartoons. Oh, we're here for it. What's going on, YouTube? It's Wally Knox Hill, and we are back. We're back with our reaction series. So today, man, listen, this has been highly requested from you guys. I've gotten so many messages about reviewing this one. Apparently, this is one of Kendrick Lamar's masterpieces, one of his greatest tracks and bars and messages. So this right here, right now, is none other than Cartoons and Cereal. But before we get further, listen, if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you like the hat that I'm wearing, knoxhillmusic.com, bars, gotta catch them all. Get your shirts, hats, hoodies, whatever you want, guys. Support the brand, get it out there. It really does go a long way. I'll put all links down there. But anyways, know what we're here for. Kendrick, step back up to the plate. Let's see what you got.
I want to get line drive.
Want to lose weight? Keep eating. For you.
Little did they know back then we'd have Ozempic now.
In my financial situation.
What you got?
Wile E. Coyote.
Now I was raised in a sandbox next to you and her. You was holding a handgun. She was giving birth to a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever knew you was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news. Looked in the mirror then realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finish watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is Wile E. Coyotes in the room. And I run it. And I run it.
Oh.
And I run it.
Wow.
And I run it. That's ironic.
It's Kendrick Lamar. There's so many layers already. I like how he drops in with this. And you talk about vocal layering. You've got like that feminine voice off to one side, and then him with kind of like almost like a robotic sort of Martian cadence off to the other side of the mix.
Baby born to be was holding the haze.
I love how you hear just like sort of the white noise, like you're flicking through the channels. And I remember like the rabbit ear antennas and trying to like adjust to get like the right station. So you have just the different, like you could see him as a kid, right? Just channel hopping, trying to get to the cartoons. And then we flick with the cartoons and he drops in with this line about the sandbox, which I love.
In my financial situation.
What you got?
Now I was raised in a sandbox
Now I was raised, pause, in a sandbox.
next to you and her. You was holding a handgun.
Next to you and her, you was holding a handgun. Da 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 da. Like it's almost like sort of tripping over yourself with delivery, right? Because it's not fully sung, but it's not fully rapped either. It's like an amalgamation of the two. But if you think about a kid in a sandbox, he was raised in a sandbox, but a kid in a sandbox should feel protected, and he already breaks that by showing you where he's from, because he's holding a handgun. And I think the he that he's talking about here is his father, I would take it as, because looking up to you as a role model, or it's like another kid that he looks up to who might be older within the sandbox in that setting.
Next to you and her. You was holding a handgun. She was giving birth.
But she was giving birth makes me think like he's speaking sort of like he and she, but it's really about his mother and father.
To a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth.
I wonder what's that worth. It's almost like Porky Pig, right? In the Porky Pig stutter, I feel like he's staying like in theme with the cartoons.
To a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever.
It's almost like that sort of stuttering, and it sort of cuts off to the side. Like her voice bounces on one side and then comes back on the other. Just the way that this is vocally mixed and bouncing all over the place makes me think of like just staying consistent with flipping through the channels, right? And just that static and that constant just shifting and changing that happens with the intro.
You was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news. Looked in the mirror then realized that I had something to prove. You told me.
Seeing you on the news. He's talking about his area. People getting on the news for the wrong reasons. Maybe his father getting in trouble and getting on the news, right? But these are the role models that he has as a kid in his sandbox. And violence and the symbolism of the gun, or literally the gun, has been introduced at way too young of an age. But this is why he starts off with the sandbox, and it's almost like idyllic at first, and then he immediately just shatters that reality and shows you his background and his upbringing and the violence around him.
Looked in the mirror then realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finish watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is wily coyotes in the room, and I run.
Before this beat kicks in, right? Which is funny to me because all I see is Wile E. Coyotes in the room. Don't be like me. Finish watching cartoons. Any father saying that to their kid, right? Don't make the mistakes that I make. Go be a kid first. Enjoy your innocence. But that innocence has already been shattered by the gun. And then him seeing Wile E. Coyotes. Well, Wile E. Coyote is a predator. He's always trying to catch and kill and murder the Roadrunner, essentially. So all he sees are killers in the room. But then you go even deeper. Like, you even think about, like, the classic cartoons. Like, Elmer Fudd is trying to hunt and kill Bugs Bunny. Wile E. Coyote is trying to hunt and kill Roadrunner. Tom is trying to hunt and kill Jerry. There's violence within cartoons, and there was a lot of physical humor back in the day in those gags. So you tell kids, we don't want you to witness what's going on in the real world. Go dive into the world of cartoons and hold your innocence. But that innocence is already being shattered through cartoons themselves and the violence within cartoons. So that's why the Wile E. Coyote kind of breaks the fourth wall for him and enters the room. I love the way that he sets this up. This is already going levels deep.
Something to prove. You told me, don't be like me. Just finish watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is wily coyotes in the room, and I run it. And I run it.
Man, this beat.
And I run it. And I run it.
And I Run makes me think of Road Runner, right? Because he talked about Wile E. Coyote and I Run, or he's like trying to run from his situation.
That's ironic. Ironic. That's ironic.
He's saying I run it, and then he flips it into ironic. It is ironic, isn't it, that he's now the one running like Road Runner.
Ironic.
Huh.
So all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes. Let my life loose in this booth, just for you, motherfucker. Hope y'all amused.
And I run it. And I run it. And I run it. That's ironic.
You find financial situation.
More deliberations begin later.
Look, popular pie plans pictured here.
Popular pie plant pictured here? That's a new one. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Popular pie plans pictured here.
Huh.
This shit make a nigga just wanna ride. Reminisce when I had the morning appetite. Applejack and after that I hit the TV died. And a maniac, the only thing that give me peace of mind. I'm a maniac when him and at the enemy.
Andy Mac, the only thing that gave me peace of mind. Applejack. Just that little mini sort of machine gun delivery, hitting it like an act on
I
that.
hit the TV died. Just wanna ride. Reminisce when I had the morning appetite.
Reminisce when I had the morning appetite. What's he saying underneath? Because he's saying contrary, like almost conversational, and that's running off on one side of the mix. Well, he's just rapping and attacking this beat on the other side. But morning appetite, like as a kid, you wake up, you're hungry in the morning, and maybe nowadays that could represent the loss of innocence. Maybe he doesn't feel that hunger anymore. He doesn't feel that youthfulness, right? Maybe he's on drugs. Maybe it's another way that he's coping.
This shit make a nigga just wanna ride. Reminisce when I had the morning appetite. Applejack and after that I hit the TV died. And a maniac, the only thing that give me peace.
Elmer Fudd, I heard him say underneath of the mix. He had Elmer Fudd and Chew It Down cartoons.
I had the morning appetite. Applejack and after that I hit the TV died. And a maniac, the only thing that give me peace of mind. I'm a maniac.
Isn't that ironic? Animaniac, the only thing. The Animaniacs, right? Being a maniac, being crazy, somehow gives him peace. The cartoons give him peace of mind, but also the peace is in a gun too.
Applejack and after that I hit the TV died. And a maniac, the only thing that give me peace of mind. I'm a maniac when him and at the enemy that lie. Tell a story that I never glory 25. Not to worry, every warrior will come and see euphoria. And that's a covenant I put on every tribe. Ain't nobody go tie your shoe. Nobody.
Every warrior will come to see euphoria, and that's a covenant I put on every tribe. Just right there, it's kind of like just running, sprinting like the Roadrunner through the bars, and that's a covenant I put on every tribe. Why am I thinking of like Ark of the Covenant, Israel and the tribes of Israel, religious imagery, but he could be likening like the gangs around him to like tribes in the side picking in the war zone, because he didn't think that he would live past and see past 25.
Enemy that lie. Tell a story that I never glory 25. Not to worry, every warrior will come and see euphoria. And that's a covenant I put on every tribe.
Yeah, warrior will come see euphoria, and he's trying to rise above it, right? That's always Kendrick Lamar. Like, he gives us these observations of the violence, of the degradation within his communities, but he's also trying to use his music as sort of this medium to rise above it all and to find an outlet for it, but also to inspire and to find the light through it.
25, not to worry, heavy warrior will come and see euphoria, and that's a covenant I put on every tribe. Ain't nobody go tie your shoe, nobody go abide by your rule, nobody horn your gun, how come your tongue say killer then kill my mood? Like speed living in the world, you know, little hold me feeling like a live wire, bet I put some new tires on a lightning bolt, till I reckon to a pole like a right to vote. I'm from the bottom of the
bars on top of that one. Put a tire on a lightning bolt. Where's one of the safest places to be in a lightning storm in a car? The rubber, right? Tires, rubber, electricity. So he puts a tire on it and he's like riding a lightning bolt and striking it through. But it also, live wire and lightning bolts. Live wire was a villain in Superman, right? She could control the radio. Kendrick Lamar, radio DJ, evil with the electricity, riding a lightning bolt and just crashing. Thunder sound on his life.
That's a covenant I put on every tribe. Ain't nobody go tie your shoe. Nobody go.
Ain't nobody gonna tie your shoe, right? But somebody should tie your shoe. You would hope that you're having someone there to raise you. But in this case, he's trying to show you, there wasn't really a lot of parental guidance. They said just bury your head in cartoons because there was a lot of real life ish going on around.
By your rule, nobody horn your gun. How come your tongue say killer then kill my mood? Like speed living in the world, you know. Little hold me feeling like a live wire. Bet I put some new tires.
Yeah, feeling like a live wire, being young, bouncing around like a live wire, and then he ties it in with the electricity scheme
like
here.
Speed living in the world.
And the light speed as well, traveling at light speed. He's still staying true to the theme of the cartoons and the different references throughout.
No, little hold me feeling like a live wire. Bet I put some new tires on a lightning bolt till I reckon to a pole like a right to vote. I'm from the
reckon to a poll like a right to vote, like an election poll versus wrecking from the polls. Again, back talking about the violence and the gun bars, flipping the polls in that way and with that scheme, or literally like just crashing into a pole like a car crash because he's now riding lightning and he can't control it into a pole.
Bet I put some new tires on a light.
And even the right to vote could go even deeper. Like you think about where Kendrick is from and you think about like the black communities and how long they fought for the right to vote. You could feel like there's another societal speak that he wants to point out right there at that moment.
Vote till I reckon to a pole like a right to vote. I'm from the bottom of the jungle, living in the bottom of the food chain. When you get a new chain, nigga take it from you. A new name, one stripe, and you a zebra look alike. Hope another homicide don't numb you and none do things we'll never learn soon. In the era what we wanna earn soon. That's an era you can smell it. In the era everybody really doomed. That's why I'm back on you motherfuckers. All y'all can suck my dick. All them days at the county building. I'm about to make my mama rich. Cartoons and I ain't felt this. Scrooge McDuck, elementary hood shit.
Ha! Scrooge McDuck, man. DuckTales, take me back. But you even think about that cartoon and the celebration of capitalism back in the day. We really are brainwashed as kids, right? But he's trying to get on his Scrooge McDuck time. He had a nice zebra bar I want to bring it back for as well.
Vote till I reckon to a pole like a right to vote. I'm from the bottom of the
like a right to vote. Just typical Kendrick Lamar. Just love the way he chooses to enunciate things sometimes and really just like bend his intonation.
Living in the bottom of the food chain. When you get a new chain, nigga take it from you. A new name, one stripe, and you a zebra look alike. Hope another homicide don't numb you.
One stripes, you're a zebra look-alike, because everybody wants to earn their stripes. Like take your chain, but it's sort of this never-ending cycle. Because I take it as you want your stripes, but you're a zebra look-alike because this is the jungle over here. So really, you think that you're acting like a tiger with stripes. Could be Tony the Tiger too. But you are a zebra. You're prey at the end of the day. This cycle never ends. You take someone's chain and then someone else comes along and takes that chain from you because to them, you look like a zebra. And they're trying to earn their stripes. And round and round, this cycle of violence and destruction continues. Almost like earning your stripes in a war. Right, like a general earning his stripes versus like a gang member earning their stripes.
One stripe and you a zebra look alike. Hope another homicide don't numb you and none do things we'll never learn soon. In the era what we wanna earn soon. That's a
Elmer Fudd to them down. Like he's got that running on the instrumental the entire time. That's wild.
You can smell it in the era. Everybody really doomed. That's why I'm back on you, mom.
Smell it in the era. Everybody think they're doomed. I love how he stays on the E and then he kind of escalates it and rises it there with the delivery.
All y'all can suck my dick. All them days at the county building. I'm about to make my mama rich. Really doomed. That's why I'm backdooring you motherfuckers. All y'all can suck my dick.
That's why I'm backdooring y'all. You can suck my dick. You can get sodomized if you
All
want.
them days.
But they won't let him through the front door. There's all these blockades against him. So now he's going to have to backdoor and come around a different way.
The county building, I'm about to make my mama rich. Cartoons and I ain't felt this. Scrooge McDuck, elementary hood shit.
This
drop down's trippy.
Giving birth to a baby born to be just like you. I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever knew you was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news, looked in the mirror and realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finish watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is Wile E. Coyotes in the room, and I run it. And I run it. And I run it.
I just love how it just drops down. It gets kind of spacey and trippy here. And then all of a sudden you get like lulled into this just wistfulness. And then wham, the percussion just hits and just like rocks you right there. And then you hear him like ad-libbing the gunshots. And it's much in the same way like being a kid and living in this world of nostalgia and innocence. And all of a sudden the percussion hits literally out in the streets. And the violence around him just shatters that and breaks it, much in the same way this hook has like two different points and it changes and all of a sudden his world gets shattered.
Which is funny now, cause all I see is Wile E. Coyotes in the room, and I run it.
And that's why he runs right there. The guns start firing.
And I run it. And I run it. That's ironic. I run it. That's ironic. I run it.
Soak all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes, let my life loose in this.
My tears all in my tunes makes you think of Looney Tunes, but also like the tunes is in the music.
Just for you, motherfucker, hope y'all amused.
And I run it. And I run it. And I run it. That's ironic.
This shit make a nigga just wanna shit hone everybody, even with a pot to piss in. How my aim sloppy at a loud mouth. Discharge, dismiss any business of yours. Discounts never did amount to a check that your ass couldn't cash when the shit bounced. Everything dismounts, niggas gon' flip that car. AKs for the whole hood, house lick went down perfect. 2 shots to the head, he deserve it. Overheard it in my bed with a bowl and remote control. Dark wing duck lost service. Mama said I better duck, she's nervous. Drama all up in the cut, hit the curtains. I mean, don't intervene with no gun machine. This block stay jerking, the feds stay lurking, emerging on everybody corner dash. Get a toe tag when you play tag with the task of a new task. Everybody wanna know my life, how did I make it past? Well, I'ma tell you like this, I've been running this shit since I asked for cartoons and cereal.
Wow. Man, another dope verse. We got more to break down from this. But you know what I love is like his voice sounds more hoarse here. It's almost like he's got a cold. And he's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go in the booth and record today. It's like, it's just got a different tone, this verse as well.
That's ironic. This shit make a nigga just wanna shit hone everybody, even with a pot to piss in. How my
shit on everybody, even with a pot to piss in. You know the saying, you don't even have a pot to piss in. You're that poor. Versus he wants to shit on everybody, even those who are the haves, and him being a have not. And then obviously the shit to piss juxtaposition.
That's ironic. This shit make a nigga just wanna shit hone everybody, even with a pot to piss in. How my aim sloppy at a loud mouth. Discharge, dismiss any business of yours.
Aim sloppy at a loud mouth, discharge. So, you know, like talking, right? You're firing in a different way versus the gunfire. And I just love the loud mouth to discharge, aiming at you, flip right there.
How my aim sloppy at a loud mouth. Discharge, dismiss any business of yours. Discounts never did amount to a check that your ass couldn't cash when the shit bounced. Everything
discounts couldn't amount to a check. Like trying to get a discount and living, you know, off of food stamps and discounts versus like taking a shortcut, taking a discount isn't always the way to make it. That's cashing a check that when it bounces, your ass really can't catch it. Wow, why couldn't I say that properly? I'm not even going to try that one. My brain is befuddled now. You wrote a check that your ass can't cash. I got it.
Business of yours. Discounts never did amount to a check that your ass couldn't cash when the shit bounced. Everything dismounts, niggas gon' flip that car.
Everything dismounts, gonna flip that car. What in the gym bars right there, like dismounting and flipping versus literally flipping the car?
Check that your ass couldn't cash when the shit bounced.
Like they will flip it. They will take it from you and they will flip it. They will jack it from you. A different flip, not the way that you're thinking.
Everything dismounts, niggas gon' flip that car. AKs for the whole hood, house lick went down perfect. 2 shots to the head, he deserve it. Overheard it, hit my bed with a bowl and remote.
There's the violence right there, right? 2 shots to the head, he deserve it. Right, house lick went perfect. And then right here, he's depicting that violence, but then he's still a kid because
perfect. 2 shots to the head, he deserve it. Overheard it, hit my bed with a bowl and remote control. Darkwing Duck law.
Overheard it in my bed with a bowl and a remote control. Darkwing Duck on. God, bring back Darkwing Duck.
Nervous. Mama said I better duck, she's nervous. Drama all up in the cut, hit the curtains.
Mama says duck, he's nervous. So again, like you have this childhood innocence, right? We picture a kid who's supposed to be just sat there with his bowl of cereals and Apple Jacks watching cartoons, and all of a sudden bullets are fired and enter the room and again shatter that innocence and shatter him trying to be sheltered because of the violence in his neighborhood that's around him. I love the way he sets all this up and depicts it throughout.
He don't intervene with no gun machine. This block stay jerking, the feds stay lurking, emerge.
This block stay jerking, right? This block, like the jerk form of dance from the West Coast versus like it's jerking, like it's nervy. There's so much going on. It's always crazy. It's always hot. There's always feds lurking around too because of the violence.
He don't intervene with no gun machine. This block stay jerking, the feds stay lurking, emerging on everybody corner dashboard. Get a toe tag when you play tag with the task of a new task force.
Get a toe tag when you play tag with the police and the brutality with the task force.
Get a toe tag when you play tag.
That's a dope bar from him.
With the task of a new task force. Everybody wanna know my life. How did I make it past? Well, I'ma tell you like this. I've been running this shit since I asked for cartoons and cereal.
Been running this shit since I asked for cartoons and cereal. Call back to the Roadrunner yet again. Yeah, the thematic writing of this combined with the flows, the delivery, almost like the chaos underneath with the production and the constant like switching within the mix, like switching TV channels still. Yeah, this is masterpiece level for me. Really well constructed art.
Just like you, I wonder what's that's worth. I wonder if you ever knew you was a role model to me first. The next day I woke up in the morning, seen you on the news, looked in the mirror and realized that I had something to prove. You told me, don't be like me, just finish watching cartoons. Which is funny now, cause all I see is Wile E. Coyotes in the room, and I run.
Out all of my wounds, hear my tears, all of my tunes. Let my life loose in this booth, just for you. Motherfucker, hope y'all amused. I did wrong, karma came. Crackers gave me ball and chain. Friends, enemies, all the same. State, fed, both can hang. Nobody can mute me, but I never said nobody can't shoot me. Just another stat to the white folk. Still whip work to the white yoke, absolutely. Every day feel like the one before.
Nobody can mute me, but I never said nobody can't shoot me. That's so true. Like, we all have freedom of speech. Like, you can't stop me from saying what I'm going to say, but there's also repercussions. And I'm also a product of my environment and where I'm from and the violence that's around me. And obviously, he throws the middle fingers to the state, to the feds, to everyone. He's got some dope bars. I love how, like, we've been teasing Gunplay's lyrics throughout this, right? Like, he's been a part of the hook. And then all of a sudden, he repeats that hook, and you think, okay, maybe it's coming back to Kendrick at the end, but then Gunplay then jumps into his verse.
Still whip work to the white yoke, absolutely.
And obviously Ball and Chain calling back to the days of slavery.
Just another stat to the white folk.
Another stat, just more crime in the inner cities, in these communities gets written off. Murder rate continues to rise.
Still whip work to the white yoke.
Whipping up, right? Drugs whipping up versus like whipping up the white yolk, but he's whipping that white, the cocaine in a different way.
Absolute.
Drop that baking soda in it.
Just another stat to the white folk. Still whip work to the white yoke, absolutely. Every day feel like the one before. Hunt the money, don't hunt the hoe. If you do what you always done, then you get what you always got. You dumb buffoons, I ain't seen the back of my eyelids for about the past 72 hours.
Damn, you ain't slept in 3 days? That's crazy.
Fools, I ain't seen the back of my eyelids for about the past 72 hours. Hand in my heart.
But it's so true. You keep doing the same thing. What's the definition of insanity? Repeating the same actions over and over, expecting different results. He's still trying to give you a message, much in the same way that Kendrick does. Like, this is the lifestyle that I'm from. These are the realities of my situation. But also, I don't want to be a product of this situation. And if you keep contributing to this life, how do you think it's going to end for you?
Seen the back of my eyelids for about the past 72 hours. Hand in my heart, face to the hood. I pledge every word you ever heard was honest. Yeah, this me. No mic, no cameras, no lights, just pain. Mama, Hamas, trauma cannot sustain. Dirty money come with lots of stains. Road to riches come with
Fucking delivery on that. That was just felt, man.
trauma cannot sustain. Dirty money come with lots of stains. Road to riches come with lots of lanes. Just another player.
Dirty money come with lots of stains. Roads to riches come with lots of lanes. There's lots of ways. You can do it legally, illegally. There's lots of different routes to try to get to the top. But the dirty money always does stain. Love that, man.
Dirty money come with lots of stains. Road to riches come with lots of
It's not just like glorifying the lifestyle. It's acknowledging the realities of this life.
lanes. Just another player with lots of game. Never had shit, got lost,
Gang, gang, even he throws in.
Just another player with lots of game. Never had shit, got lost,
What is this percussive kick switch? To be continued. Ah, like any great cartoon. And I love how it gets like demonetized and winds down in the mix. Then you hear the white noise. Wow. I'll tell you what. I'm always a fan of when you just have a really dope theme. And you can stay consistent with that theme throughout. In this case, the cartoons, the childhood innocence, and the violence that shakes that innocence, and having to grow up too quickly and dealing with that trauma and dealing with the environment into which he was thrown and raised as a kid in the sandbox and being witness to all of these things. And just the way that we dive in and out of these worlds throughout. And like I said, like the way the production was, even the stuttering from him, a lot of the switches, feeling like we're just constantly changing the channel with the music itself. It was like controlled chaos, almost like the mind of a kid as he tried to wander through it and make sense of it all. Amazing delivery, amazing flows from Kendrick. Dope bars, wisdom, message, substance. Gunplay brought it too. Kendrick Lamar Gunplay, you were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys like today's video. Listen, for some reason you're here at the end, obviously enjoying the content. Do me a huge favor, support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on. Really, really does go a long way. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay positive. It's only Knox Hill. You know, I'll catch you again.